Hi everyone, welcome to Growing Spaces. Today we're going to go on a tour of all 6 sizes of our growing dome greenhouse kits. All of our growing domes are naturally wind resistant and can withstand heavy snow loads. They all come standard with a 24-inch all-weather wood insulated foundation wall, 16mm polycarbonate covering, north wall insulation, an above-ground pond, automated ventilation systems, and an undersoil ventilation system. They are also all 3/8 of a sphere, and without further ado, let's go ahead and take a look. Here we have our 15-foot diameter growing dome. This is the smallest greenhouse kit that we offer, but you could still grow plenty of things inside. This dome comes standard with 1 door, the above-ground pond, as well as all of the other 7 features, and also 3 venting panels. So it comes with 2 lower and 1 upper to help create a chimney effect. You do have the option to customize this greenhouse by adding an additional upper vent, either electric or solar fans, and water features. And we also have a desert cooling package which comes with a fan and a misting system. This dome is approximately 150 square feet and is 9 feet 5 inches high at the center point. We do have a wide-angle lens on the camera so that you can get the full picture, but don't let that fool you, this is only 15 feet in diameter. Despite its small size, as you can see, there's still plenty of room to grow in here. You can grow a plethora of fruits and vegetables, and this is the ideal size for a backyard or a smaller family. The above-ground pond is positioned on the north wall, and it is what really sets us apart from other greenhouses on the market. This acts as your main thermal mass and captures the heat of the sun during the day and slowly releases that heat at night, which avoids any extreme temperature swings that you may see in a regular style greenhouse. This is also its own ecosystem. So as you can see, we have fish and plants in here, and we utilize the water out of this pond to water our gardens, and it acts as a natural fertilizer. The size of the pond correlates to the size of the growing dome. So as we get larger in size, we get larger in the ponds as well, and eventually they do change shape, but we'll get there. This greenhouse is small, but it is mighty. Here we have our 18-foot growing dome. This growing dome is 2 frequency, and it also features the 1 standard door as well as the 7 features that come with all of our greenhouse kits. This dome does come with 3 venting windows, 2 lower and 1 upper, and you do have the option of adding an additional upper vent for some extra ventilation, or you can add active ventilation in the form of fans. We have electric and solar options. You can also add a water feature and a desert cooling package, which comes with a fan and a misting system. Let's head on inside. This greenhouse has approximately 250 square feet to work with and is 10 feet 8 inches high at the center. As you can see, we've opted for a pretty unique raised bed design in this dome with a keyhole feature that allows us plenty of growing space, but also the ability to work and move around easily. You can opt for solely perimeter beds, you can do container gardening, or you can even do hydroponics, which is what we have over here on the east side of the dome. You're not limited to just soil. You may be wondering what this shiny material is on the north wall here above our pond, and this is our north wall insulation. It's reflective for a very important reason. In the summertime, when the sun is high on the horizon, it actually helps to reflect some of the sun's rays away from your greenhouse and provide your pond a little bit of shade, keeping your greenhouse cooler. And in the wintertime, when the sun is lower on the horizon, it helps reflect those sun's rays back into your greenhouse, helping it stay warmer. Here we have our 22-foot growing dome. For those of you well-versed with your growing spaces history, you may already know that this is the original. Everything else, from the 15 all the way up to the 42, were all sized up or down based on this growing dome. This dome does come standard with the door, all of the 7 features, as well as 4 venting panels, 2 lower and 2 on the top. Let's head on inside. As far as options for this size of growing dome, you have the option of adding an additional lower vent. You can add active ventilation in the form of electric or solar fans. You can utilize a desert cooling package, which comes with the misting system and a fan. And you can also add a water feature, either solar or electric, depending on your desires. This is the smallest growing dome size that we recommend for trees. As you can see here, we have a fig tree. This fig is pretty close to 30 years old. She just had a pretty extensive haircut, so she'll bush back out and fill up this dome. We have 10 feet 10 inches of vertical space to work with and 350 square feet of growing space. We do have a central bed in this growing dome that features this keyhole design, and this is strategic so that we can easily access all of our plants without having to bend and reach as much. This center bed is also lower than the perimeter. Our perimeter beds are about 24 inches high, and this center bed is actually 16 inches high, and that is again to help us avoid having to bend and reach as much, but it's also very important that we do not limit the solar gain to our pond so that we can maximize the thermal mass. This greenhouse, as well as all of our greenhouses, come with an undersoil ventilation system. And this is a system that consists of a fan positioned behind the pond and a corrugated pipe that runs through the perimeter raised garden beds and exhausts at the southern side of the dome. This system acts as a mini climate battery, utilizing some of the geothermal properties of the soil to help heat or cool your dome depending on the season. This is our 26-foot growing dome, and this is by far our most popular size. When we go inside, you'll see why. It has the perfect mix of growing room as well as livable space for you to hang out and enjoy all of your hard work. This dome does come standard with 4 vents, 2 lower and 2 upper, as well as a hybrid solar fan. Now, when we get to this size, we have a few extra options for you. So you can add an additional lower vent if you would like. You can also exchange the upper vents for an attic fan, which is great if you live in an especially windy climate or you just want that extra added ventilation. And you can also add an additional door. We have electric and solar options for your water feature, as well as a desert cooling package, which comes with a fan and a misting system. Let's head inside. As you can see, the 550 square feet that we have to work with in this growing dome allows us to maximize our growing space and also create a little area for us to hang out, have a cup of coffee, enjoy the greenery that we've worked so hard on. And this is really great in the winter months when it's really chilly outside. You can come into your nice warm greenhouse and just enjoy the space. Besides the 550 square feet, we also have 12 feet 7 inches of vertical space in this growing dome. As you can see, we have a very well-established fig tree in here, so this does give you a little bit more options with the types of things you can grow. You have tons of vertical space. And I mentioned all of the ventilation options that you can add to this greenhouse. All of our domes do come standard with some form of automated ventilation. Our venting panels open and close with temperature-controlled pistons, so as it heats up during the day, the vents will open, and as it cools down at night, they'll go ahead and close. You don't have to worry about it. And all of our fan options come with a thermostat, so you can set them at whatever temperature you'd like them to turn on or off at. This gives you peace of mind and makes it so that you don't have to come out to your greenhouse and remember to open or close anything. This is our 33-foot growing dome. This is the first size of growing dome where we do not have venting panels. Instead, we have active ventilation in the form of fans. So this will come standard with 1 electric intake fan, as well as 1 electric exhaust fan, as well as the 1 door and all of the 7 features that come standard with all of our growing dome kits. You do have the option to upgrade to all solar components, or you can add an electric attic fan or an electric intake fan, a solar intake fan or solar attic fan. You can also add solar or electric water features, desert cooling package, which features a fan and a misting system, as well as an additional doorway. Let's go ahead and inside. With 850 square feet to work with, the options for how you design the interior of this space are really endless. You also have 15 feet 5 inches of vertical space to work with, so you can have many different trees in here. We've opted for grapevines and a trellis on our southwest wall. And for our raised beds, we featured 3 different materials. So we have our standard raised beds, which come with our installation instructions, so you could build those yourself. We also have a corrugated metal design, which you can now purchase from Growing Spaces. And we have backyard boxes, which you can purchase on our website. These are 100% cedar, rot resistant, and come pre-assembled, make it really easy to get growing that much faster. The geodesic shape is one of the strongest shapes known to man, and our growing domes can easily withstand 75 pounds per square foot snow loads, as well as up to 115 mile-per-hour winds. We have domes that have survived direct hits from hurricanes. The plants love the even lighting that the shape provides, as well as the regulated temperatures. The polycarbonate does have an R value of 2.8 and allows for 65% light transmission. This means that you never have to worry about your plants being scorched by the sun, And we also provide you a shade cloth with every one of our growing domes to help give your plants a little bit of extra shade during the summer months. As you can see, this is the first pond that we have that is round. And this is simply due to the amount of water that's within this pond, so that we have an adequate thermal mass for the size that we have to work with. Because we have so much vertical space in this dome, we even have had customers that build decks above this pond to provide them even that much more usable space. Our 42-foot growing dome is the largest growing dome kit that we offer. This size of growing dome is great for schools, community organizations, or nonprofits that are looking to feed a large group of people. This is also a great option if you happen to have the room in your backyard or if you're creating your own homestead. Before we head inside and take a look, I do want to take a quick moment to talk about the foundation wall. Our 24-inch all-weather wood foundation wall is unique in that it is insulated. Inside of this wall is a cavity like you would have in the wall of your home. There's studs within the wall that provide structure, and there's also rigid foam insulation that adds that much more insulating factor between the outside temperatures and the inside of your greenhouse. We also have a rodent protection option installed on this greenhouse, which is great for those that deal with little critters like voles, mice, chipmunks, squirrels, anything that can burrow or simply just dig underneath the base of the wall. So we have our rodent protection option here on the outside, as well as throughout the entire base of the greenhouse. This 1,300 square foot greenhouse comes standard with 2 electric intake fans, as well as 2 electric exhaust fans. You do have the option of upgrading to solar components if you choose. This dome also comes with 2 doors standard. It's the only growing dome that comes with multiple doors, but you do have the option of adding a 3rd if you would like. You can also add electric or solar components as you see fit, as well as water features or the desert cooling package, which comes with a misting system to create evaporative cooling, as well as an additional fan. This greenhouse has 16 feet 6 inches of vertical space to work with. As you can see, we have 3 fig trees in here, and we still have tons of room to grow. This growing dome in particular has actually been used by the Archuleta Senior Center to provide food for our community for the last year or so. Thank you so much for coming on a virtual tour with us today. We do offer DIY and professional installation options for all of our growing dome greenhouse sizes, so you can pick what would work best for you based upon your budget and your construction experience. If you'd like to see a growing dome in person, we do have all 6 sizes available for tour at our Pagosa Springs facility, as well as a 26-foot growing dome up in Golden, Colorado. And we also have growing domes in all 50 states and 14 countries around the world, so we can find somebody that's local to you for you to go and see their space. I will have a form linked in the description box down below so that you can schedule your tour with us, and you can also always call us at 1-800-753-9333. If you are ready to buy, we would love to get you connected with a growing dome advisor, and again, I will have a contact form, and you can also just give us a call. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you soon.